I'll paraphrase from Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the Four Agreements and many other great books, which is that you don't have to try to be good. What you have to do is to become who you are, integrate yourself, and then goodness occurs by virtue. And the more that I've come into myself, and again, looking into these things, studying these things, having these conversations, that's what I've come down to as well, is that the heart does not lie to us. It actually is incapable of lying to us. And so if we can tap into the dictates of the heart, which we all have this spiritual center within us, you could call it, then, and we live according to those dictates, which again is not being imposed by any external force or ideology or dogma or system of thinking. It's not being imposed at all. It's emanating from within. And its essence is love. If we can live in accordance to the dictates of the heart, then we will be good. Truly, we will be good. And this is the ask of ethics, and ultimately the ask of life, is to be good. How can I be in a way that is good? And so to connect it to this idea of consciousness and how we're all tapped in to the field of consciousness, we all have this within us. So we don't actually need a system to tell us how to behave. Systems have utility in that, insofar as they help to provide guidance back home to ourselves, back home to that knowing that we all carry. And guidance is useful because we move through the world. Our world is so distracting that our lenses get fogged up and caked with dirt and accumulate all this detritus that actually impedes us from seeing what the heart is saying. And so systems that have utility are ones that help bring us back home to ourselves. And for me, like beauty and art is creating a world in which these are the fundamental pillars of the systems that we exist in, where we're moving through the world and experiencing beauty, rather than, again, this brutalist architecture that chooses form and function over beauty and expression. Then we are reminded of our humanness. And this is what psychedelics do as well. They remind us of our humanness. And if we can be reminded of that, oh no, I'm not just some cog in a machine, but actually I'm a sacred sovereign being, and everybody else and every other being is its own sacred sovereign being, then we act in accordance with sacredness. If we feel what sacredness means, then we can't not act in accordance with sacredness. But again, we forget because we move through this distracting world, and there's so many things vying for our attention and so much noise out there that we lose sight of it. And so we need these constant reminders. And that's a function that, church as a concept, like that's the spirit of it. I think it's like you come here every week and you're with your people and you're reminded of sacredness. And So there's some essence of that we can capture from the the overwhelming complexity of doctrinal systems of religion and how that's all played out. We can capture that essence of, oh yeah, how can we remind one another and ourselves of sacredness, and do so in a container of community and feel the felt expression of love. And if we can do that, then we remember, and then we act in a way that is good.